Alright guys, today we're going to be doing an updated first person view add-on of weapons into the zombie survival template. So I'm going to be using this FPS single one. I haven't used it before, I just kind of threw it in there, but if you're going to go with some real good animations, I would suggest this guy here. I have his AK-74M and a couple of his other stuff, like his characters, and he also makes other guns. They all look fantastic and they're super smooth. So if you're looking for animations for first person, at this current time, I'd recommend this guy for some of his. Fantastic work. So he does all kinds of different things. So let's jump right into it. So I've already have the pistol animations in my project, so I'm going to retarget them really quick. So I'm going to go to the arms, select all my animations, right click, go to retarget. Then I think his SK arms, SK mannequin arms, I'll try it this way. And I'm going to select them all like that. Export animations. I'm just going to put them right in the folder they came from. You can make a new folder and you can add them in if you want to do it that way. And click save all. All right. Then we're going to hop into our first person Anim BP. Have to find that. It's been a while. Blueprints. Character. Gonna need this anyway. So first person arms. There it is. First person Anim BP. So HGT first person animations right here. So I'm gonna go to my anim graph. There's already a spot for a pistol here. So if you click on this enum, this here's kind of in your way. You can delete all this out of there. And then you'll see a pistol right here. Click on that and you can add it in for a pistol. And there's also, if you want to add a new gun, what you would do is you go to weapon anim enums right here. You would open this up and you would just add a new row. So add a numerator and say I want it like a P90. I just put P90. I'd click save here. And it's very important after you alter these enums, as before, you don't want to save anything. So you want to close your project out. Do not click save here. And then you want to reopen it. So I'm not going to save that. And I'm going to reopen my project. Because if you were to save that, it would corrupt all of your structs and you would basically have to start over or try and rebuild them manually. And I haven't had any luck with rebuilding them. Maybe once, I think. So we're back inside the project. Very important that you take that step if you add a new one in. I'm going to open my third person character again. And once you add your new one in, I'll show you how to do that as well. So open our first person, go back to our anim graph. So now once you have that enum added in, you can right click on it. You can delete all that out. You'll have P90 there as well. So we'll just use pistol for now. So we'll put our pistol there. And what I like to do is grab this rifle, Control C, and duplicate it. Then I'm going to rename this to pistol locomotion instead. And I'll call this one pistol cache. Like that. Compile and save. And then I'm just going to type in use cached pose, and we'll use the pistol one. I'm going to plug that in here. Then we're going to open this pistol loco. And this is where we're going to do our work. So in here, we're going to grab our pistol idle. So pistol idle. Block idle. I'm just going to use idle 1. Plug that in. Plug in the idle here. Delete those. File and save and go back. Grab the walk. I don't even know what these animations are going to look like. I have not done this ahead of time. I probably should have. So we want the walk plugged in here. And then we want the idle. Idle. We'll use the same idle for all of them. And we'll do that. We'll get a sprint. I don't know if there's a sprint or a run. I'll use this one here. Plug that in. Get rid of this. What's that say? Roadie gun. Don't need that. And then there's a jump start. Sometimes these jumps will give you a little bit of issues. This is a jump start. Jump start. Is there a start? Jump start, just like that. Plug that in. Delete this out. Pile, and that's going to give us an error. That's fine. Jump loop. Loop. Put that in here. You also want to make sure you get the right idle back in there. So I'm using idle 1. Put that in. Delete that. Back. And then there's a jump end. I also need the idle again, so I'm just going to grab that and put that on. And jump end. Like that. And compile and save that. And then our errors are in these here transitions. And sometimes you have to close the blueprint out and reopen it. Sometimes I've had to get the project closed, but so when you go in here, it's trying to access the old one. So what you want to do is get jump. See, it's the wrong one. So what you want to have in there is the relevant time, it's called. So I'm going to have to restart the project again. But this animation stuff takes time, and we're going to do it right. So we'll close this out, reopen it again. And I'll show you what that's going to be looking for so you guys will know. Just takes a second to load back in. All right. First person Anim BP, we're going to open back up. And we're going to type in get pistol. Sometimes it doesn't work, so it takes a couple tries. Also, this one's going to be an issue here as well. And I'll show you what it's looking for. I'm just going to compile this again. But what it's looking for is, if I go back to the rifle animations, looking for this right here and get the remaining time for the animation. And I have updated desires here, so I've updated this to be this. It's just not recognizing this yet for some reason. And it does that from time to time. I had issues with this earlier. Get remaining time. This is, you want to have your animation there. For some reason it's not taking it. Remaining time. I'm gonna plug this in for now. It may or may not work the way I want it to. I may have to alter something, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I think it's not recognizing the animation name and it's just pulling from here instead, so that could be the issue. Alright, so then we are going to go back to our weapons. So we're going to go to weapon data table. Right here, weapon info table. And all I'm going to do here is duplicate the rifle. Duplicate this, and I'm going to call it pistol, F2, pistol. I'll be right back. All right, and we're back in the weapon info table. And we just rename this. And the next thing I want to do is go to here. That's where the blueprint for the rifle is. And I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm just going to call it pistol BP for now. Save that. Open this up. Then I'm going to change these meshes to the pistol one. So if I go back into FPS pistol, I go to mesh, pistol. We want to find the skeletal mesh. I'm guessing it's this one here. And I'm going to replace this one, that, and the FP one, first person, like that. Compile and save. And we're also going to make a new Anim blueprint for these as well because it doesn't have it. And it didn't update the pistol for whatever reason, so I'll close it out. And hopefully when I reopen it, it'll be there. So back inside the weapon table, I'm going to search for the BP pistol we just made and assign it here. And it did update it. That's good. And I don't think there's an Anim BP with this template for the pistol yet, so we'll make our own. There's different ways of doing that. I may not be doing the best way, but it's always worked for me for years. So what I like to do is, these are the animations. So what do we have? A reload. And I guess where he takes the weapon out. So I'm just going to take the weapon shot and duplicate it. And I'm going to call it like pistol idle. I'm going to open that up. And what I'm looking for is to make an idle state with this. So I'm going to go to where the gun is closed. I'm going to right click. And I'm going to remove from frames 0 to 8. And that's going to leave me with basically just an idle pistol. And I'm not going to loop it. And my rate scale, you can even set that to 0 so it's not cycling all the time. And then we're going to go back to our pistol mesh. We're going to right click on it, create an Anim blueprint. And this is just going to be Anim BP underscore pistol is fine. This is just a basic way of creating an Anim BP for it. And then we're going to right click and slot default slot. Just like that. So all I did was drag this pistol idle in and connect these up. And what this default slot allows me to do is make Anim montages play. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to play my reload and stuff. You'll see when we get to it. Because later on, I'll show you actually, I'm going to open one of these up now. Later on, we're going to have to grab these three, right click, and then create an Anim montage. And that's going to let us do all kinds of cool stuff. We'll save that for now because we are going to need these. Then we'll go back to our pistol BP right here. And then we're going to assign that animation blueprint. So we go to third person mesh. We type in pistol BP and a BP pistol. That's the one we made. And then we're going to assign that to the first person mesh as well. Then we'll compile and save it. And then I'm also going to move these two muzzle right here. So I click one, hold control, click the other one. I'm going to move this muzzle flash to the barrel just to save a step. Later on, we'll do the scope too. But for now, I'll just move this up. Just within reason. You want to put it where your muzzle flash would be. Compile and save. I'm not too worried about the left-hand IK because I'm going to disable that. Then we go back to our weapon info table and see what else we need here. The display name, you're probably going to want to put whatever your gun name is. I'm putting pistol. This is very important. Your weapon anim set. You're going to set that to pistol. So that's going to pull the information from our animation table here. So this is where it takes it from. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to have to make a new socket for our pistol. I doubt it will line up right. So I'm going to go to my SK Arms, I think it's called. Yep. And then I'm going to find the right hand. And I'm going to create a new socket, or add a new socket, yep, and I'm going to call it FP underscore pistol. And I'm just going to copy that name. And I'm going to put it right here in first person pistol. And then I'm going to uncheck this box for use left hand IK because it's going to be animation driven. Then what else do we got to do? Well, I'm going to set my default weapon to be pistol in my third person character. So I think it's default weapon class. Oh, here it is, starting weapons. I'm just going to change that to pistol. So just for testing. Compile and save that. Then I'm just going to jump into the game real quick. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to adjust that gun. But before I do that, I'm going to move these zombies because they're going to be an issue. They're going to try and kill me while I'm adjusting this. I could do this inside of the editor, but I like doing it this way. It's more fun. Fight with it then. Alright, so with the game open like that, what I like to do is open up that character arms like this. And then I like to adjust this. So we can move that around. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but you guys will get the point. You want to get this within reason. I don't want to waste your time, so I'm going to get it kind of good and then leave it at that. So we'll call that all right. That's good enough for me. All right. And one thing I did notice with testing is what we want to do is go back into our first person Anim BP. We'll open our pistol loco and the idle. And these two here, you want to set that to loop. I think it's here. Yes, loop animation. And then you want to go back and do the same thing with the walk. And these two, loop animation. Sprint, you're going to want to loop it. Don't think the jumps should matter. Actually, I should test that as well while we're here. So jump looks okay. Run looks good. Like I said, the pistol location should be forward and to the right a little more, but we're not going to worry about that. And this has to be done as well. And he's probably not going to be rapid fire in this thing, but we'll leave it like that for now. But what you want to do is in your weapon table where you duplicated this, you would change that to single fire. And you probably want to give it like less ammunition. All right, so on to our animations. You're going to want to find, we're going to do first person today because this is what it's all about. So first person shoot, we're going to go to our pistol. These are our retargeted ones. And we're going to type in pistol. I think he uses fire. Or no, shoot maybe. What he uses, pistol attack? No, single attack. I think that's like a melee. A melee. Which would be good if you guys are doing a melee thing. I'm looking more like a shoot or a fire. Reload. Jump. There's a run there. A shot. Okay, pistol shot. Alright, so we have pistol shot. And we want to make sure we get the right ones. It's the ones we retargeted. So single shot. And I'm going to create an anim montage. Save it. Going to check it. That's good enough. And we'll go back to our data table. And this is the arms that are shooting. So we're going to go to shot. Shot right here. And this is the one for the weapon itself. So that's the ones that we did earlier. It's going to be pistol, shot. Yeah, I got to go back to see where that one is. I think it's this one here. Pistol, single shot. Yes, it is. The one that we did earlier. Put that in there. And that looks like it's playing a little fast. So we may even miss that action. I'm going to test that now. Yeah, I think it's moving, but it's just playing so quickly. I'm going to adjust the rate scale to like 0.75. Maybe too slow, because we're talking a second here, but yeah, now you can see it moves. That's better. Then you do the same thing for your reload animation. So I may as well do it while we're here. So we'll find first person reload. Find pistol reload. And we're looking for the single reload, I guess one. We will right click it. Actually, hold on. Animations. Reload. I want to make sure because we retargeted these. It's probably these ones we're looking for. So walk. I don't think these are retargeted, so we have to do these as well. I'm just going to right click this, retarget it, find my arms, and then we're looking for the reload one, like that, export it, and I'm going to put it right back in here, and there it is. I'm just going to right click it, create anim montage, and I'm going to click this one, and that's the one I'm going to use. First person reload, and then we're going to find our pistol reload that we made. So I'm just going to find the shot one, and we should have a reload one here too. That pistol reload one is what we're looking for. Might have to use reload too. Hopefully it looks the same. Take a look at it. That'll work. I can make that work. And then we'll fix our first person aim down the sights, and then that pretty much takes care of adding the states in. Jump works. This stuff works. The only thing we got to fix now is going to be our aim down the sights, and that is in our gun blueprint that we made. This is a blue arrow. So we're going to move that over here and adjust it down. So it's going to aim through here. You might have to take some time and put it in a better spot, but you basically want to adjust this aim. So I might not get it right the first time, but it'll be close enough for what we're doing. And that's all there is to making first-person animations. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message on Discord or whatever you like, and we'll get you all sorted out. And I'll see you guys on the next one.